Hi, it's Angie Schmucker with Schmucker Advising, and this video series is about roles and responsibilities of board members and nonprofits, governing boards in particular. And we started out talking about duty of care, duty of loyalty, and duty of obedience. This video is about duty of obedience. Duty of obedience means simply that you're going to follow your bylaws, your policies, your mission, and you're going to also follow the law. So let's start with the easy one and the hardest one that I think is to follow. You're going to file your taxes and you're going to file them on time. And I find organizations that really struggle to get these done, to get their audits done, to get their things done on time. So get yourself, as soon as you finish your taxes for this year, line up your tax firm for next year, line up your audit, line up all those things. Don't wait till the last minute. I find firms, nonprofits, like struggling to find somebody and not getting it done on time. So make sure that you do that. It's really important. You need to report all your income. You need to do all those things. You need to have your audit every year and make sure that you make corrections to things. And the things that they point out that are risks, that you take care of those things. There are other laws that you need to follow, and they differ state by state, and they differ by your field. So if you're in healthcare, or you work with people in health-related fields, so if you work in a particular area, you have HIPAA laws to follow. You may be in education and you have FERPA laws. There are different laws that apply to you. So just make sure that you as a board member are familiar and that you know that the nonprofit is following these laws. You also have to follow all the policies of the organization. So another one of our videos talks about some of the policies. You may have additional policies in terms of things like records retention, especially if you're in the healthcare space or the education space, you may have a lot of records. There are other policies related to perhaps DEI policy. There may be policies related to hiring and firing. There may be policies that aren't necessarily board level policies, but that are policies that are relevant to the employees' policies and procedures. You want to make sure even that those things are getting followed at that level, that there are reviews happening in the organization, and that those reviews and the results of those are coming back to you guys, and you know that those things are happening. Other things that you want to know, you just want to know that you're actually meeting and fulfilling the mission of the organization. So many times resources can get spent on other things. I've seen organizations decide that they need to have a particular event to raise money, and then they spend more time worried about this event than they do serving the needs of the population they serve. Or they spend more time trying to raise money through perhaps like a retail operation or something else instead of what it is that money is to raise money for, what you're doing with the funds. So make sure your resources are distributed towards your programs and that your resources are focused on the work that you do. And obviously you need fundraisers. I'm a fundraiser. That you need fundraisers and you need those other things, but that your mission and your strategic plan and all the work that you do sets you up, and all your resources set you up to always fulfill your mission. Once a year, one of the things that I think boards should do and is a great practice is not only sign all those policies as a board member and say, yep, confidentiality policy, conflict of interest policy, and here's my declaration, DEI policy, review all the other policies, review your bylaws every year. Make an annual meeting the time that you review your bylaws, and make that the time that you make any amendments. So there may be other times that you need to make amendments. Lots of things have changed, certainly with COVID, where meetings could be attended virtually. Is that something you want to keep doing? Do you want to switch back to in-person? Do you want to allow so many meetings a year that are virtual while the rest of the meetings can be in person? Do you want to allow a certain number of absences? You know, what is happening in practice in real life? Do your bylaws reflect that? And if your bylaws don't, do you need to change your bylaws? Do you need to change your board members? Do you need to change your practices? What are the things you need to do? Have real conversations. Have these meetings once a year. You may have rules in your bylaws that things need to be reviewed and talked about at least so many weeks ahead, so many months ahead, a meeting in advance. So make sure you have the time that you need to do that as well. And if those things, again, are impossible in practice, perhaps you need to change that in your bylaws too. So those are some of the things that you need to think about with duty of obedience. So it was duty of care, duty of obedience, duty of loyalty. Those are the three things that board members have as fiduciary responsibilities, legal and ethical obligations of being a board member. The rest of our videos are going to talk about other things, other roles and responsibilities that board members have, and things that CEOs love to have board members involved with and maybe love a little bit less. So stay tuned, continue to check out our videos, and subscribe to our channel at Schmucker Advising. Follow us on other platforms as well, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Thanks. Bye-bye.